holler for him to come. And there's where I would sing, "We'll work till the cows come home." I'd sit up on the back up on the fence there, and I'd holler for the cows to come, and that's when I start singing, "We'll work till the cows come home. We'll work." So that's where that started originally. This right here is a very special building. Man, look at the quail. It scared me. Was you running it then when it flew up? Man, I like it. Right here is a very special building. I built this. Let's see. I caught a calf my freshman year in Houston in a calf scramble. Set the record at that time for a long time of the fastest record of catching the calf and getting him back across the line. And I went and bought a calf from Albert, my brother's father-in-law. His name was Doc. It was a Hereford calf. And I came back and we built this pen for Doc. It actually, I had an air conditioner in there, and we built this thing, and it had a screened-in porch type deal. I mean, he had a luxury house. And that would have been built, I guess, in 1958. 58, that was built. And I can remember building that thing, and then I think later, Jim, we turned it into kind of a fairing house for fairing hogs. But this old lot, this is where the old barn. You can see that channel where it's falling over, but there were two of them there. And we would, you kind of see the old original stands of the old corral. You had a corral over there, and right over here, it's funny how these things are coming back to me. I remember when we built this, what we call a horse trough. Not white stepping on nails. This was what you call a horse trough. I don't know why. I guess where they water horses, but most of the cows drank that. I can remember when we built this. We were patching this one day, and I smarted off. I don't know what I did. I remember my dad saying, "You're not too big to whip." And I don't know what I did, but I was fixing to get a whipping. And talking about whipping, this barn here, one year, he kept his wheat and oats for seed to replant in a bin. He kept them separate. He told us not to get in there. Well, me and my nephew, Lon Edward, we got in and we scattered it, playing in it, and we mixed it together. And I can remember him hollering, and we come out, and him coming down, and I mean, I got a good whipping. I deserved it. I got another whipping one time for getting on top of this barn, and I remember he whipped me for getting up on that barn. And there's something, look at here. This right here, believe it or not, an old Doc, I built this my high school years. This is where I put the nurse cow in here, feed her, and old Doc, the calf, was in. Then later we had some nurse calves that we put on cows, and that's what you did. You'd have, when you're milking or having a calf to nurse, you'd put their head in there, you'd feed them, and then shut that tube, and they couldn't move out, and then you'd turn the calves in, and that's still standing. I didn't know that was still standing. Of course, none of these trees were in here at that time. This was after my dad died. I remember building this up in ag. I welded that. I wasn't a very good welder. Never did become very good, but I built that. Believe it or not, I ought to get that sometime. I don't know what I'd do with it. Now over here, my granddad Baucum built this. Now I played. Now this, we never did water out of this. About a 7, 8, 9-year-old. Guess what I did with this? That made the best fort. Get over there, and you could get down in there, and I'd put stuff over and make a house out of it. And boy, you could kill many Indians. I've killed many Indians right around here because trying to come and get me. Over here was our chicken house. It's set back over here, and we made it into a hog farrowing house. We'll go out here in a little bit, and I'll show you where, because we raised hogs. I mean, when he died, my dad died, I don't know how many hogs he had. But you can see the old rubbish of the old corral, and this was a good setup. Had a good barn. This was all under corral here. The fence used to come over there. You can see where the corral used to. It was a big corral. We'd bring all the cattle in here. It was I think it's around 1957, we had a rats epidemic, and I'm talking about big old rats. And I'd come out here at night. We'd come out with we had buck shots for 22, and we'd shoot them. They'd run down that. We put a spotlight on them at night because they didn't come out till night. You could hear them in the daytime, but they'd come out feeding, and they would run up there, and we'd shoot them things, and they'd fall. And they like it took us over. And it was something else. But this was we had two barns just like this. They were just alike, built side by side. And this is where we kept our feed for the cows, the milk cows. He put his seeds in here to replant. We kept all of our cotton seed. We never bought any seed. We kept all of our wheat and oats. You just kept them when you harvest them and you clean them. Why it was up off the ground. And the chickens would lay back up in there, and I'd go up under there and get those eggs. I'd crawl up there, and we used to have fleas would get so bad they'd get on you. But I'd go up there and get the eggs, and we kept hogs around back. Of course, rattlesnakes were real bad around here, and we was always told that rattlesnakes, where the hogs are, they won't get around. Well, one day, Dad came out here, and there was a rattlesnake right behind the barn, so they never let me go back under the barn. We never did see any around, but that for some reason that rattlesnake was here. Was a kid. This Jim built this hog setup. This is where our main hog setup was. This was what we call the floored pen, where we fatten out the hogs to eat or to sell. And it was off the ground that the hogs on the outside, the baby pigs would actually go in when they wasted the feed, would go under and eat the feed there. But this is where we fed out the hogs to eat, right here. And then he had some farrowing houses in the back behind. This was not here at that time. Jim built this later. There was farrowing houses back there, and then he'd sow that in oats by the highway, and we would raise baby pigs. And he made his main money from hogs. And we would sell hogs for pigs, usually a weaning age, about $10 a piece, which was good money back then. And we sold many of them. My old cotton stripper here, I guess is the last one I had. I'd say 1964 or 5. And it never did work very good. I always used a John Deere 77 cotton stripper, which was a better one. But it never did work very good. But this is my old cotton stripper. Chicken house is a big old chicken long, and then we made it into a farrowing house. What? This house is a big dome. I can take everything. No, this was the dining room. We had the table that set like this because this carpet went here, and I can remember many, many times. After we had ate, we'd sit around talking at the table, and of course we didn't have TV.